waves bigger than any of the older guys wanted to surf, and one thing led to another, and we surfed every reef around the point, and for 50 miles in both directions, we looked at every reef and wave and possibility of surf, and right under our nose was Mavericks. And when the waves got really big, we were able to at least watch it and study it. And when I felt like I was ready to go, my friends still weren't ready to go. And they go, like the movie says, they'll tell the Coast Guard the last place I saw you.
How did the name Mavericks come about?
Mavericks came about in the 60s. A surfer, Alex Matienzo, in the 60s, the whole longboard thing, and everybody had surfboards. And Pacifica had a thriving surf community, but Half Moon Bay had a small community. And out here off the point, inside the rocks at Mavericks, there's a small wave that breaks like Waikiki, and that's where Alex had his dog, and it would swim out into the water after him, and they'd have to take him back, tie him up on the beach, but they ended up calling the place Mavericks. And so he came into my shop in '95. Came into my shop, this white-haired Hawaiian comes in and he goes, "How come you call your shop Mavericks?" And I said, "Well, my Little League coach called it Mavericks, and it took us out riding these little perfect waves inside the rocks out there, and I surfed it when it was bigger, and then when the waves got really big, we saw this giant wave breaking outside, so I just kept calling it Mavericks." But it was different from what they surfed in the 60s. The Mavericks we know of today is this behemoth of a wave outside the rocks, breaks half a mile offshore, and that's kind of what,
right?
Yeah,
right
that's what I sunk my teeth into. And when you can see yourself in that kind of wave, you embrace it, and
it's wild.
People ask me, "Well, you must have been so scared the first time you went out there." And I was like, "No, man, I was ready for the next level, man. I want this more than anything in the world." And so that's where, it went for me. And I would come in and I'd go, "Man, you got to come surf this wave with me." "Yeah, right. You can't surf that. That's not a wave." And so it went like that for years, like 15 years. I tried to bend people's ear to go out and surf the best big wave I've ever surfed. And you got to figure 1975, what were you all doing? There was nothing out here. Fishing village, farmers, and now it's turned into one of the epicenters of big wave surfing in the world.